When Southern Air team members walk up to a job site, it's imperative to start the day with safety in the front of their mind. As we continue our quest to make construction sites and work practices as safe as possible, we utilize tools like the Pre-Task Planning Worksheet. Southern Air's Pre-Task Planning Worksheet is designed to promote open, two-way dialogue for team members to identify and document potential hazards, minimize the associated risks, and evaluate the material and equipment they'll need for the job.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Has everybody got the pre-task sheet?
The Pre-Task Planning Worksheet was specifically designed by Southern Air foremen, project managers, and safety officials with your safety in mind. This worksheet was created by Southern Air tradesmen for Southern Air tradesmen.
All right. Be safe. Get to work.
The Pre-Task Planning Worksheet should be filled out by everyone performing a task on a construction site. But remember, it is not the foreman's responsibility to fill out your Pre-Task Planning Worksheet.
What are you doing, man?
Filling out my pre-task.
Not here.
Why can't I do it right here?
Pre-task planning worksheets should be filled out as a team in your physical work area and displayed for others to see. Foremen, it will be your responsibility to review forms, ensuring they are filled out properly, hazards have been identified, controlled, or removed, and corrections are explained prior to your approval signature. Forms are to be stored on site for 1 week and then discarded. First, write down the task you'll be performing on a given day. Below, under the description of Work AM tab, is where you'll write all the steps needed for the listed task. No task has just one step, so make sure you're thorough in your explanation. Keep in mind, construction sites are constantly changing and no area remains the same for long. When you return to your work area after lunch, pull out the pre-task sheet and in the description of Work PM, document if your tasks have changed and add new steps if required. However, if your task has not changed but your hazards have, simply write same work, updated sections 1 through 11. These worksheets are not for record keeping. They are for hazard identification for each person using them. Once in your work area, pull out the pre-task worksheet. The Common Hazard Identification section is broken up into 11 subsections. When you identify your daily tasks, go through each of these 11 subsections and mark all that apply. If the type of work does not apply for that day, write NA in that category. Section 1 is hand and power tools. Check here if you will be using these types of tools. Under hazard controls, check off each box to ensure you not only have the correct tools for the job, but the tools themselves are in safe operating order. List your main tools and move on. Section 2 identifies flying debris or silica dust from welding, grinding, chipping, or overhead work and will be checked here. In the hazard controls section, ensure you have proper safety eyewear, face shield, Vader mask, and other equipment needed to control debris and dust. Remember, working overhead requires more than just safety glasses. Section 3 determines whether manual lifting or material movement is required. This will determine the type of lifting technique best for your situation. Do you need a lifting aid for anything less than 100 pounds? Do you need to utilize team members for items in between 50 and 100 pounds? Do you have other lifting techniques for items heavier than 50 pounds? List the lifting aids you plan to use here. Check here if you plan to use a ladder in Section 4. In the Hazard Control section, check each box during the ladder inspection. Ensure it is a rated fiberglass ladder. Inspect it for cracks, missing labels, and dirty rungs. Proper ladder height, good access to work area, a clean area to work in, and plan to use a platform ladder for difficult tasks. Sections 5 through 7 contain the Other Hazard Identification section for most common risks found at job sites. If you are using a lift of some kind, it needs to be marked in Section 5 and the Hazard Control section must be filled out correctly. Is the operator trained? Is the daily inspection complete? Are you using the harness and lanyard? The operators to remain on the platform at all times and any other special circumstance should be written here. Section 6 addresses housekeeping, which is something we should always be aware of. Check this box and the boxes in the hazard controls area to remember to clean as you go, designate storage areas, cover holes, and establish walking and working surfaces. Check the box in Section 7 indicating you are conducting some type of hot work and verify the presence of a fire extinguisher, an established fire watch, and all required permits. Sections 8 through 11 contain the Fatal 4 Hazard Identification section for hazards responsible for the 4 most deadly incidents nationwide on construction sites. Section 8 concerns working above 6 feet and being exposed to a fall, which is the leading cause of fatalities at construction sites. Ensure there is a fall arrest system, be tied off to a 5,000-pound anchor point, set up warning lines if working on rooftops, and briefly explain the Special Fall Protection Plan. Section 9 focuses on electrical safety or stored energy. Confirm cords are free of nicks, cuts, missing pins, and electrical tape. A ground fault circuit interrupter is available. Lockout tagout is accomplished. Equipment is isolated, and proper PPE is utilized for testing and troubleshooting. Section 10 addresses being struck by or caught in between moving objects. To keep safe in areas with vehicle traffic, wear high visibility vests, avoid working under loads, monitor equipment's swing radius, secure all loads being transported, rig them properly, and use shoring, sloping, benching, or boxing in trench applications. Section 11 alerts you to other potential dangers. In this space, record the day's temperature and weather conditions. Check your surroundings and keep on top of your situational awareness. Look overhead for crane activity, work being done on the roof, welding or burning, arc flash exposure, excavations, confined space entries, vehicle traffic, lockout tagout, extension ladder usage, and cutoff wheels. The pre-task planning worksheet also includes a near-hit section. When you identify something that could have caused an accident or become a potential hazard, we ask that you write that in this area. If you have any questions regarding Southern Air's pre-task planning worksheet, your coworkers, foreman, and safety team will always be available to ensure you're working smart and safely. Southern Air's pre-task planning worksheet is designed for team members to walk out of every single job site the same way you walked in, on your own 2 feet.